Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our Swiss chocolate run here. And as of the time that I am filming this, the newest, or I should say the first DLC for this game just came out this week. It might have been yesterday, actually. But it's not going to impact us too much on this run-through. It might help us a little bit on the French Orchards run-through, because I think the entire DLC was built around orchards and tractors and stuff like that related to that. So, in fact, we can go in here and we can see there's a whole bunch of tiny little tractors over here now from Antonio Carrero, which is why the pack is called the Antonio Carrero pack. And, again, nothing that's going to help us with what we're doing today, but just wanted to kind of give you kind of up to speed of where we're at with the game. Obviously, with the DLCs, I assume there's probably a companion patch of some sort that might have fixed a few things like that, so that'll at least tell you kind of what the state of the game is at the time that we're playing. But anyway, so that's that. Like I said, nothing that's really going to affect us that much today, although there were a few other like freebie mods that Giants had in the pack, or not in the pack, but in the download center that I picked up as well. A couple of them that could impact us a little bit. Let's see here. Let's go over to for example, seeders. Now these are going to be way too expensive for us, but just showing you that they are there. There's a couple of these Borgalt drills and I guess seed carts and things like that. Very, very expensive, but they might come into play at some point in the game. So anything that was from Giants on the mod hub as of the time of this DLC, I have downloaded. So just to let you know kind of what DLC, what mods that I keep up to speed. But anyway, today we have to do some seeding of some oats. So I think I'm actually going to grab this thing right here. We're going to go ahead and just lease it as is. Should be pretty good, because that way we don't have to do any cultivating. We can just use that to cultivate with. And go grab that and seed our oats real quick. Now that thing will not fertilize. We do have a little bit of fertilizer available to us between the slurry and the manure. Could be enough. We'll see. Guess I should stop driving over this guy's pretty field now that it's actually got crop on it. Looking a little bit low on money, but we do have about, I think, 45, 55, something like that, $1,000 in available if we need to take out some more loan. But as of right now, we're okay. We do also have a lot of sugar, sugar beets, I should say. That's one of the things we did in the last couple episodes that you guys have obviously seen, but I'm trying to remind myself where I was left off. But a lot of sugar beets available to turn into sugar to potentially start making us some chocolate at some point. Now, we don't really have a place to put the factory right now, so we'll have to find a place for that, and there's not one already on the map, unfortunately. Now we'll see if the seed will get us there. We want oats. Double check, it is in fact the month to sow oats. Yes. I was looking off to the right and didn't see that black car sneak up on me. Oh, goodness. I will be all right. Just got to pay more attention. Would like to buy more fields. That would be nice, just to be able to have more crop coming in. Also, buying more fields could give us a little bit more land to be able to use up for the factory and stuff, but just not quite there on the money at the moment. We gotta be a little bit more patient for just a bit longer. I'm gonna get the working started on this because I actually kind of want to check through some of the prices, see where we're at. Looks like we're good to go over there. All right, so as I mentioned, we do have a lot of sugar beets. Do have some straw, not a lot of straw, but we have some. We also have a little bit of milk building up. We have quite a bit of sugar beets, 122,000 liters, although that will also probably go pretty quickly, I would imagine. And that's basically it. And then, of course, some manure and slurry that we can use for fertilizing here in a bit. I do have one of the patches just before the DLC came out that does add the min max prices over on the right hand side. As you can see, for just cereal, for example, just grab random one. You can see what the highest price is over the last year plus the lowest price. So that's going to help us determine if it's a good time to sell stuff. How are we doing on our factory? Oh, wrong button. We do have some cheese available. So I have a decent amount of milk in there that's going to be being produced. But we can check the cheese prices as well, just kind of get an idea of where we're at in regards to... We're at 17.44, so we're kind of middle of the road. Definitely a lot of room to grow on that, so we don't need to worry about selling that anytime soon. We definitely want to get the chocolate rolling. But again, we just don't have the money for that right now. Sorry about a little bit of a yawn there. I think I was playing Football Manager. Make sure everything's looking okay here. Yep, oats are growing. Need rolling. Looking pretty good. Let's see, any contracts we can pick up just to give us a little bit extra money. I mean, there's a couple fertilizing contracts, which are options to pick up. Plowing, I don't really want to do. Sowing, we're not going to do sowing potatoes. If we could use the sowing with the machine we just picked up, sure, but we're not going to do anything with potatoes. I don't know if we have enough slurry or manure to do another field on top of our own. Oh, these fields are both very close to us. 19 to our right and 22 to our south. So it might be worth picking up. I also could just pick those up just to grab the machinery there to just use standard fertilizer this time around. We've got plenty of space for manure to build up, so we don't have to use up the manure anytime soon. But the slurry is the stuff that I'm more worried about. And it is actually almost full, so we definitely want to use up some of the slurry. Which does mean another piece of equipment, which is unfortunate. I mean, there is a used piece of slurry equipment over here that, I mean, it would be nice to pick up at some point just to have another option. What is... This is the Bomec. Bomec. This is that one. I mean, it's a good price. What is this attached to? Those are both very expensive tanks. If we had the money, I might consider doing something like this because we do at some point need to start having this available, but it's just, these are both incredibly expensive. I mean, it's even worth leasing these. $6,000 to lease. Whereas we could just lease the one we've been leasing, which is this one for, what, not even like 1,000? Yeah. We got to stick with this one for now. We can't make that jump up just yet. All right, well, I'm going to let the tractor move along a little bit. We'll be back once we're a little bit further along. All right, not quite done with the seeding. We're still quite a ways to go, but I did decide, I was sitting here kind of thinking while I was waiting, and I think we are going to go ahead and grab these two contracts. We're going to grab the tractor for one, so we have another tractor, and then obviously the other one we don't have to worry about, so we'll just grab the tractor from the smaller one, borrow those items, and then we'll accept the contract for this one as well. That does give us this tractor. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this slurry spreader that I picked up, and we're going to try and spread as much slurry as we can and go from there. We might not need to use very much actual fertilizer, which would be good. Also, we don't have to fertilize our fields just yet. I mean, we can, I think, go ahead and fertilize them, but because we had grass on them before, they are already actually half fertilized as we're planting, so that's a pretty big help already. I mean, this tank doesn't hold very much, so, I mean, trying to do field 19 over here is going to take quite a few trips, I would imagine. Well, we'll get as far as we can, and good thing about fertilizing contract fields as usual is we don't have to do 100%, so we'll just do the best we can and go from there. Oh, it's a race. Are we going to win? Oh, we're going to win. As usual, I can't remember exactly what the spread pattern is, but we'll just start here and see how far it goes. Oh, this is not going to make it. It's not even going to make it one trip down. But, you know, we'll do what we can and go from there. Ah, it's actually right up to the edge. Actually, I might make it one trip down. We may have to go fill up after each down pass, but we might actually make it. I mean, anything we use here is just going to save us a little bit of money, and otherwise would be wasted because the cows are going to keep producing it anyway, so we might as well use what we got. Doesn't matter whether we use it on a contract or our own fields. At the end of the day, it all works out the same. That actually worked pretty well. Now we do want to go get some more before we I mean, it's gonna be a lot of back and forth trips, but it's a good thing it's close, right? And we'll use up all we can and then fertilize the rest with regular fertilizer probably. I don't really feel like I said before that I have to get in too big of a hurry to use up the manure, since it has a lot more space. Oh, it's automatically filling up. That's... Oh, I guess because I was holding down the left button to turn, it must have just clicked it. I'm just going to do a little bit of header here because I think it will avoid trying to go into that road as much as possible. As usual, wish we could see what it looks like on the mini-map there, but we'll just have to guess here a bit. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. Might be over-appling a little bit more than I'd like, but should work out. It's just nasty coming out the end there. What is this going to put us over 20% here? 20, 25 maybe? I get the cows fed again, actually. Just remembered. Got plenty of food for them, though, now. That's going to be a huge help going forward. Especially once we get this next batch of straw in. We might even be able to sneak in a different crop in there somewhere. It's overlapping a little bit more than I'd like. It's actually leaving a bigger gap than I'd like, but we'll figure it out. Like I said, at the end of the day, we don't have to be perfect, but probably do need to fill that gap in a little bit. Guess I should just left it where it was. A little bit of overlaps, not too bad. I can't see anything, so I'm just having to guess. Definitely need to invest in a bigger slurry thing. If we're going to be using slurry a lot more, then we need something. Probably a bigger container that we can just hold up a bunch, but also a better system to deploy it. Yeah, I may just come up that gap after all. Waste a little bit of slurry, but honestly, the slurry's free, so it doesn't really matter that much. Almost halfway there. What we got left? Still quite a bit, actually. At least 3 more trips, so we're going to get pretty close to finishing up this field with just the slurry. Should be pretty close to good enough. And we're getting all of it good. You are almost done as well. Well, with the first field. And we got the other field to do, but not bad. Should have plenty of seed for both of these, I think. He's done. A little bit of money. I mean, it's every little bit of money helps, I guess. Again, since these were easy to do, since they're right next to us, might as well. Actually looks pretty good right there. Just a little bit of overlap, not much. Yeah, if we were able to pick up this field at some point, even though it's not the most economical from a size of the field versus how much we're paying, it would be really good for us because of the extra land over here that we could potentially put another factory. Like even if we had to trim off just a little bit of the field, we could put like that sugar factory like back here up against this other building and stuff. $137,000. I mean, it's not terrible, but then we have to pay for the sugar factory itself, which is $80,000. So we're talking over $200,000 between the two. Two-thirds of the way done. And is that our first priority? I don't know, honestly. I mean, we're almost 50 episodes into this series, which, I mean, to be fair, we are doing a start from scratch, so I knew it was going to go slower anyway. But for something that's Swiss chocolate, we've made a lot of dairy stuff, you know. I say a lot. We've made some cheese. I can't remember if we made butter yet or not, but we definitely made some cheese. But we haven't made any chocolate. So definitely want to get to the chocolate as soon as we can. Got to get a little more money. We're about what? We have $50,000 now, so we just got to get another, you know, 150,000 bucks. I mean, we could buy the field first, even if we're not ready to buy the sugar or do the sugar, because that'll help us make more money, right? You know, the sooner we buy the field, the more money we can make right away. So we're almost, you know, almost halfway there, maybe. And the fact that we have a lot of sugar beets already sitting there, though, means... But that's the other thing, though. Buying the field first lets us start making money first. But we already have the sugar beets, so... I mean, getting a factory set up would... we'd maybe be able to start making chocolate, well, as soon as we bought the chocolate thing as well. Which that's not free, obviously. Sorry about that. Forgot to mute my phone. Why are you not working? Lower volume. Thank you. All right. Let's see how we at. Where are we at? We're maybe one more pass. We might be good enough to call it. We will see. That means we had enough slurry to do this whole field. That's actually really good. Now we had to pay $1,000 for the equipment, but we're going to make 4,000 bucks on the contract. Now, is that cheaper than if we just done dry fertilizer or solid fertilizer with the equipment we rented? I don't know. It's hard. It's probably about the same at the end of the day. Probably didn't really save us that much. We got enough for another full load over there? We do. So we can definitely finish this field up with this slurry only. Actually, might even be able to do a little bit of the other field too. Or our own field, one of the two. How much was the chocolate factory again? I don't remember. I'm gonna get this guy started on this last pass and we're gonna run over there and check it out real quick. Oh, I got it all over me. All right, let's see here. It's only 50,000 bucks. So for 130,000 bucks, we can have both the sugar mill and the chocolate factory and start making the chocolate right away. But where do we put it? Would it fit over here? I mean, I wouldn't really like it here long term necessarily. I probably would eventually find a way to sell it and move it, but it could fit over here behind the building, the barn, or not the barn, but I guess our house, so to speak. Finish up. Probably finished up and I wasn't paying attention. You are complete. Nice. So we can go ahead and collect that. We'll get whatever little bit of slurry we got left over. Do a little bit of this other field. And actually, we're going to go ahead and call the episode there. When we come back, we'll be finishing up this contract. We should be pretty close to being done planting, and then we'll feed the cows and go from there. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.